Hey there, I'm back here with glass painting tips, and today I'm going to talk about the paints that we use and how to store them. So of course for glass painting we use acrylic enamel paints or acrylic multi-surface paints. Either of them is great to use, but if you're like me, you have a lot of paints and a lot of them. So they usually come in about like these 2-ounce containers. And some of them come in the bigger ones, but if you have the 2-ounce containers, they fit perfectly into these little shoe boxes that you can get like from Michael's or Hobby Lobby and stuff like that. So these are perfect. You can also, of course, store them on a shelf, or I have them everywhere basically, but a lot of them I have in these boxes, and they're also easy to carry around. So if you do glass painting classes and you do in-person classes, right now we're not doing it, but if you do the in-person classes, you can take the box with you to your class. It makes it just easier to store your paints. But one thing about your paints is that you always want to put them upside down in your box. So I have a couple here that are left that aren't upside down. So I'm gonna flip those over. And the reason why you wanna do this is because the paint, it just flows better. So it's easier when you want to take them out and use them. You don't have to shake them too much and bang them down to get them down to use all that paint. So this just helps you to use more of your paint. So it kind of helps the paint go down to the spout where you're gonna pour it out. So just make sure you store them upside down. And then also you want to consolidate your paint. So you don't wanna have like a bunch of like 5 yellows in your box and they're all like half used and stuff like that. So one thing you can do is consolidate them. So like this one is pretty full, and this one is kind of, this one has a lot less in it, and this one is pretty full. So in order to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this one up so that it's ready to go, and I can throw away the ones that are half empty, or the ones after I empty them out into the other. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this one up here. Looks like this one's pretty full. There's still a lot of space left in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. I'm gonna consolidate this one out because it's pretty empty. And so there's a little bit left in this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into this. And since they were stored upside down, they're kind of easier to pour out. Just pour as much as you can. And then I'll probably have to shake this a little bit down to get all the paint out, because you obviously don't want to waste your paint. You want to use as much as you have and make use of it. So I'm just going to pour the rest of this out. And when that makes that noise, you know that you either need to, it's all gone, or you need to shake a little bit or tap it down to get the rest of it out. Like I said, these little 2-ounce paints are really handy. All right, so this is pretty much empty, and it's really light, so I can tell it's empty, and nothing really else is coming out. But do that a few times until all of it comes out, and then you can go ahead and put the cover on and store it upside down. One other thing too is that sometimes your paints, if you don't like wipe them off after you use them, sometimes they get like this kind of stuff here, like, you know, just paint on the spout. And one thing to avoid that is you can just, of course, wipe them down after you use them. Or if that happens, you can just peel it off, because it's really just dried paint. It comes right off, and then you have a clear spout. Do that. So just take these off whenever you have them. But again, a way to avoid it is just to kind of wipe them down. So, but that's one thing about that. And also, too, if you're doing an in-person class too, a lot of times you'll buy all your paints and get them ready and to bring with you. But one thing is that sometimes they come with these little, plastic sleeve things, and sometimes if you really are quick and you forget to take these off before a class, it kind of takes a few minutes to get these off. So one quick way to get them off is to just turn the opposite direction. Then it would take the lid off. So you turn the opposite direction, I guess, yeah, counterclockwise, and just turn it, and then that comes off. Okay, so just try that if you want to take the wrapper things off. It just makes it easier when you want to open them up and stuff like that. So you can either do that for any time, just turn it counterclockwise, and that little sleeve of wrapper will come right off. So again, like I said, just one way to do it, just keep them all in these little boxes. You can organize them by color. You can put all your, one whole box of yellows or something, or do like a rainbow and organize it by color. But just keep them in these little boxes, and they're great to store. I would keep them in a kind of a cool, dry place is the best place to keep them. But again, you can just shake them down and consolidate them, and then also just keep them cleaned off so that they're easy, ready to use when you want to use them next. But again, that's all our glass painting tip for today, and we'll see you next time.